Hey guys, in today's video I will be showing you how to make a mini forge with some household materials and a cheap method you could do at home. The forge can go up to 1500 degrees Celsius and it's mostly used for aluminum, but with a few modifications it can be used for higher temperatures. The simple modifications you can do is get more of a powerful blower and exchange the fire extinguisher crucible for a ceramic crucible which won't melt at higher temperatures. Alright guys, so what you'll need for this project is a 15-liter bucket, a container to measure everything, an inner container we put inside the bucket, plaster of Paris, some play sand, and a container to mix it all up. First thing I did is drill a hole into the bucket and then made it bigger with some metal cutters. I then patched it up with some aluminum tape. Now it's time for the mix, and the mix is 1 3/4 plaster, 1 3/4 play sand, 1 1/4 water. I got a bigger container to mix it all up in, other one was too small. Now we mix it all up, and you want to get rid of all the lumps with your hand. I poured it into the bucket with the smaller container inside the bucket. I made a really big mess, so be prepared. It's been a couple hours and it hardened up. Now it's ready to take the inner container out. I just took it out with the metal cutters and I just basically did that. I finally got it out. It was a bit of a struggle. Now it's time for taking the aluminum tape off and clearing out the hole. I cleared the hole out with a drill bit. Any size drill bit is fine. Now let's make the crucible out of a steel fire extinguisher. Grab some gloves and a hammer and just whack it at the top and it will come off. It finally came off, and now I'm dumping the powder inside some container. You don't want to put that in the garbage. Let's cut the crucible in half, about right there. You want to make sure the fire extinguisher is steel. You can do this by holding a magnet against it, and if the magnet sticks, it is steel. You can see it's almost through, and it doesn't have to be a perfect straight cut, but it doesn't really matter. Any cut will do as long as it's alright. As you can see, the fire extinguisher fits perfectly inside my mold, and the hole I made at the bottom of the bucket is perfect level with everything else. So now it's time for the lid, and basically all you need is some plaster of Paris, an inner bottle for the inner portion, some steel rings as your handles, some steel wool to make it stronger, a container to pour it all, and a container to mix it all up. So the portions are 10 cups of sand, 10 cups of plaster, and 7 cups of water. It's basically the same process for the other one. We just mix up the plaster, we mix up the sand, we mix up the water, and then we mix it, all three of them up together. I ended up getting a bigger container again because it was not big enough to mix it all up. So we're going to pour the mix into it like this, with the bottle in the middle and the steel wool on the side. As you can see, I poured it and I put the metal rings that were cut in half on each side of the bottle. This will freeze and then used for handles later. To get the bottle out, you just twist and pull. It's very easy to do. I could do it with one hand. The lid came out thicker than I wanted to. It's about 3 to 4 inches, but it's fine. It's okay. That's not a problem. We can work with that. We had a bit of an issue when we took the mold, as what happened is we put too much steel wool in, and the mix didn't want to go through. So this is just on the sides. It's a bit of an issue, but it's okay. It's nothing that can stop the project. This is the hole at the bottom where the bottle was, and it's just a thin layer you could easily take out with anything, even probably your finger. It's perfect size with the bucket, and it's just right amount to keep the heat in. Now that the bucket is ready, I attach a 4-foot steel pipe with a 2-foot ABS pipe to give it some distance from the forge to the plastic blower. I now crush up some aluminum cans and find some scrap aluminum around my backyard. I pour the aluminum into an old soup can for later use. I couldn't find a muffin tray, which would have been a bit better, but this will do for now. Give me some suggestions on what I should cast. I'll post a video about it in the upcoming week, and if the idea is practical, I'll do it. Otherwise, I'll just cast something generic. Well, have a good day. My cousin wanted to congratulate us on getting the aluminum out of the old soup can. That's one of the reasons why you don't want to use it, because it will be a struggle to get it out later.